Hi.
Hi, I'm Londyn.
I'm Kristen.
And we are the dyers behind K&L Fibers.
We are. It is Saturday the 14th. 17th? Oh my goodness. It's the 14th of June, and it's like 4 something in the afternoon.
I know, this is the latest we have podcasted in a while.
I know. Well, when Jack was here, we weren't podcasting.
Yeah.
And then we did dinners for a while.
We did do dinners, but it has been a while since we've done a dinner podcast. Yeah. Now it's just been, I come over first thing in the morning and we do it.
I think I'm done bleeding.
Oh, okay.
I nicked my finger. But yeah, it's 100 and some odd degrees outside. We're under a heat warning until I think Monday morning.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably going to get extended.
Yeah,
it happens all the time.
We've been dyeing all day, and we dye in my garage, so it's been super pleasant. No, not the worst we've experienced dyeing.
No, that would be when we first started and we sat out in chairs the entire time.
Yeah.
In July. When it was 110 and we sat out there all day.
So now we've got a system down where we take breaks inside while the yarn is exhausting, and then the AC just feels amazing. So we cool down just enough to just go back outside again.
Yes, so we take breaks. Lots of water, lots of hydration,
food.
Yeah, lots of food. But we've been working on some new colors.
Yep,
that will be released later.
Yeah, and we're restocking. So we're dyeing some of our yarns that sell really well, so we can restock those and have them either for trunk shows or to take to SoCal Fiber Fair. I don't know why I always say festival. It's still an F though.
I mean, fair enough. You'd get the acronym right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been working lots on that. Working on an exciting new colorway that we're excited to launch.
What else? I had a birthday.
You had a birthday.
I wouldn't say exciting. That was entertaining. It was a fun day. And my husband said I could do whatever I wanted for the whole weekend. So he extended it to not just a day, but a whole weekend of anything I wanted.
Which is also over Memorial Day weekend, so you got extra time anyway.
I did. And so we did dinner for my birthday. We went to it's not a Dave & Buster's here in Tucson, though we do have one. It's owned locally, and it's a part of a movie theater. So we went to that. Not Gaslight. Oh my God. The one over by the Outback Steakhouse. Roadies opened, and they have a little gaming area. They have a couple of bowling lanes. They have axe throwing. They have food, and then you walk out one of their doors across the parking lot, and there's a full-fledged movie theater. So
a very nice movie theater. I do like their movie theater.
Very nice. They are also more expensive.
They are,
but they are very nice. If it wasn't such a trek for us, we would probably go there more often.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's going after the paper towel. As always, we have dogs out. You can see her chin, so you will probably see them at some point.
Yep.
So we did that, and then I have tickets to Broadway in Tucson, and we went to go see Mamma Mia on Sunday, and my husband was very sweet about it. It is not his style of musical, but he sat through it. He left during intermission to go play Pokemon for 15 minutes, and to my surprise, he came back. To finish out the musical. I expected him to just get lost. Not that he would say that. He'd probably just be like, "Hey babe, so it's a Pokemon day, I'm gonna go." But yeah, other than that was cool. He got me perfume for my birthday, and I got phone calls and stuff like that from family, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's different than the norm, but it's okay.
Yes. Your present is on the way, maybe.
She has to dye it. I know what it is.
I have to dye. I'm not dyeing it.
No, well, Hue Loco.
Oh yeah,
it's Hue Loco's.
Hue Loco. I bought her Hue Loco yarn.
Not the current one. The last one that just happened.
The first light.
Yeah.
So that collection, pre-ordered that. The one that you sent me, and you're like, I like this, but I'm not gonna get it. And I was like, sweet. Now I have a birthday present. So
Meanwhile, I was like looking at other things, and I was like, well, your birthday's coming up in another month or so, so I should probably
figure it out.
I've decided on what I'm getting. I just have to figure out. It's still yarn related.
Okay.
Colorways.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Yes. Aside from that, nothing's really going on. Working. Working is great. I only have boxes in my office now. So the rest of my house has been unpacked. Besides,
Nice.
like, there's like 2 in the garage that need to be moved.
Okay.
But there was like 6 in my office because most of them are my husband's boxes from his office, but we don't have an office for him anymore.
Right.
So now we have to figure out what we're doing with it. We replaced a bathroom vanity.
Nice.
And we replaced a
Sorry, I have a dog eating something that she probably shouldn't be eating. I am listening.
Your dog is distracting me. And then I replaced a kitchen sink. So kitchen sink has been replaced. So now I have a big farm sink, which is great. What did she have in her mouth?
It's a little rock.
Okay. She was eating something.
She was eating something, but now my hands need to be rinsed.
Yes. So yeah, we've just been doing like home improvement projects. Yeah. Home improvement products. And we now have to replace the rods in our closet. I don't know if I told you that. Right before we went on vacation to Pine Top over Memorial Day weekend, we were moving the clothes on the top rack, and everything just pulled out of the wall.
Oh. Nope.
Nothing in this house has been put into studs ever.
Jeez.
And they're off from the studs by like 3 inches. Like had they looked, they would have been there.
Right.
So now we have to redo them.
That's happened in this neighborhood too. There's been, because I live in a neighborhood that's new build, and people move in right after it's built, and there's been quite a few people who hang stuff in their master closet or any of their closets, and like within weeks, like the entire thing falls. And we want to redo our closet anyways, but
that's what we're gonna do eventually.
I've always looked at our rods, and I'm just like, oh, I hope it doesn't fall. Or if you fall, please fall when Jack's here.
Yes. So that's on the road to be fixed. We just bought new brackets to put up until we can figure out what we want, because I hate the layout of my closet.
Yeah.
So until I can figure out what I want for a closet, we're just going to leave it as is, just with brackets in the studs, so it should not pull out of the wall. Because one would think that was common sense, but apparently not. I don't know, man.
What else has happened? Oh, I have a rental car. My car was in an accident. It was not me. I'd like that known. I was not in the vehicle when this happened. My husband he dropped me off at work, and he was driving home, and an accident happened. So I haven't had my car for a week, and then it's scheduled to be finished next Friday.
That's going to be lovely to have your car back.
Hopefully. I know.
Especially with it getting so hot, your windows are so tinted.
They are very tinted. I love it. And it's just like more comfy, cozy. You don't have to worry about damaging things. Like, it's your own. Like, you take care of it like your own, but you don't have to worry about like a deposit and all that stuff.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm looking into is I think I need to get my windows tinted on my car. So
we might know a place depending on what type of tint you would like on your vehicle.
Not your tint.
But you can get lighter tint.
Slightly lighter tint.
He's a good
tinter.
He has his own business. He owns his own business, and he is really fast. Like, he'll schedule with you to figure out what you want, and then he'll schedule with you to drop off your car that morning, and by the end of the day, you're done.
Oh, perfect. That's lovely. I do like that. So that'll be good.
So, and wonderful work. The only thing I didn't like, which I guess you're going to get no matter where you take your car to get tint done, they use Windex to adhere the tint to the window, so you have some Windex smudgy. I thought it was soap, but my neighbor told me it was Windex. That's what they use. Kind of like, I don't know, like on your door pieces, because they installed it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just have to like wipe that down, and it'll go away, and it won't be sticky. But
that would bother me. Okay. Fair enough. That would bother you too, and it did.
Yes, it did.
So, yeah, I think that's all we have as far as like life updates. Not a lot going on, which is,
Right?
I'm okay with that.
Life has slowed down a little bit, which is nice.
Thank the Lord. Because,
I know.
like, if it was going from what it was going to be for March to April, I was like, guys, I'm checking out. I'm done now. Come on.
I mean, I need this year to be more calm because last year was shitty for me. So
Yeah.
It has calmed down a bit. We are getting towards an anniversary, which is a bit sad, a
Yeah.
bit tough, but it is what it is.
But you have something finished to show.
I do. I'm very excited.
It's so pretty.
So this is my mini mock neck tee by Jessie Maed Designs. Oh my god, my hands are super huge and I get caught on them. But it is so pretty. It fits. I'm not wearing it because we've been outside and sweaty and gross and
You don't want that on there.
yeah, and I don't want to put like grossness on my new freshly blocked.
It looks great.
Top.
I love the collar.
I do too. I think it
It's
came out
nice.
really nice.
It's nice. It's little, which I like, because normally like this shirt bothers me. This collar bothers me because that's up a little higher than what I would normally go for.
Yeah. I do have slight concerns that the armhole is a little bit big, but I plan on wearing it with overalls. I know it's ridiculous, but I plan on wearing it with overalls. So
Do you
if it,
own overalls?
I don't, but I'm gonna buy some
Okay. You're gonna buy overalls just to be able to
specifically
wear with
because I
that
have
shirt.
this top. Because I think it'll be the cutest thing. Maybe it's not. I mean, maybe I'm misunderstanding how big my boobs are. And I need for that extra cover. I
It'll
tried
be
it.
fun.
I tried it before I blocked it. It fit perfect. So this is just a little bit bigger. It'll be fun. I didn't hard block. I didn't block it that hard. But this is, I think I whipped it up in a month because did I have it started last podcast or I was just talking about it? I think I started it.
Yeah, I think you started it.
So maybe like a month, like
It was
5 or
after
6
you
weeks.
finished the chicken.
I know.
I feel like the chicken was so long ago.
I know. And it's made out of our yarn that we dye. It's called Blush.
It's so cute.
This base is our high twist base. So it has cashmere in it. Had no issues with it at all. I love the pattern. It's written beautifully. Her patterns are all super size inclusive, and that makes me so happy because I don't have to worry about if they've thought about the fact that, like, yes, I have boobs, but I also have a belly. Like, my waist is not as tiny. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So that is this beauty, and it will be worn probably when it's not 100 and some odd degrees outside. Probably SoCal might be the first time it's worn because we won't cool down nicely until
After then.
October, November. Oh my goodness.
Thank you for the watermelon.
My dog has a watermelon. It's her favorite toy. Okay. So that is that. I'm very happy with that.
Yes.
Would not change anything about it. She wants to play fetch now. This is what this is gonna be.
We're playing fetch during it.
Do you have something?
I do. I
You
finished,
go ahead.
guys. I finished something, and it didn't take me 8 years. So be proud, because I am.
She did it in like
I started
it was a
in
couple months.
February, but it was
Yeah.
a secondary project. So it was when I couldn't take my sweater with me because I didn't want to
Yep.
have to carry all that with me because
A
that's
lot.
a lot, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So I cast this on in February, and I worked on it off and on
Mhm.
until about last month when I finished the California sweater.
Yeah.
So far this year I finished 2 things. So
Nice.
progress. So I was working on it off and on, and then I dedicated like the last month to actually getting it, and I
Right.
blocked it. I washed it and blocked it yesterday. So that was great. Just note to self, anybody who's doing anything with peacock binding, you have to block each little peak so they come out right. And there's like 200 of them.
Yep.
So that was great. But I love it. It turned out beautifully. So.
Oh my god. Note to self, don't fall off the couch.
fall off the couch.
Okay. So
So-
let's go this way.
Yeah, there we go. One way at a time. It's beautiful. It's going to be a great wrap, and I love the color and the way it turned out.
Look at the drape.
Like, it's beautiful.
So pretty.
So, and I love, like, the peacock. They look so pretty and, like, delicate. It looks very nice. So, I do love that. It wasn't a bad project. It wasn't super difficult or anything until I added in stitches and then tried to remove stitches and
well, because
that was my error.
Yeah, you knit it in a bigger yarn.
I did.
And then had to figure out.
And then I missed a stitch somewhere, so then I yarned over to add a stitch, and I should not have done that.
Yeah, you should have. I mean, once you learn more, like, increases, like picking up the bar from the row below won't make a hole.
That would be lovely.
Yeah. But I don't think anyone's going to notice it.
No, I don't think anybody's. I think I notice it, but that's just me. But
we always notice our own.
Yes. So, but I do have to say it worked out really well. I liked the yarn. I had just a little bit left over.
Okay.
And I made it a little bit bigger than the pattern said.
Right.
But actually by a lot. Not a little bit bigger. It's a lot bigger.
Because didn't the original pattern was one skein of fingering weight?
It was one skein of fingering weight, but up to like 305 stitches.
Okay.
And I went up to 386 or 85.
Okay.
And then I did the edging.
Okay.
Which I do love. The edging is very pretty.
It's very pretty.
Also, figuring out how to do the peacock bind off was not super fun.
But it's a different skill. You made it through.
I did. So, progress. Progress is what we're going for, not perfection. Yep. I started it at this was my problem. I started at 10 o'clock at night. Oh, no. And I started, and I worked until midnight. And I had gotten maybe this much of it done. And I was like, this is going to take forever. Mm-hmm. I hate binding off. I hate doing any of this. But once I got the hang of it, I did the rest of it in an afternoon.
Yeah.
So it was just watching multiple YouTube videos to figure it out, trying to remember it correctly, and all of that. So I think now it's a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely interesting. I don't know that I would pick to do that on another pattern right away. I think I need a little bit of a break. So my next pattern does not have that, but it was good overall. Good project. Not bad. It was using Seismic yarns, white Opal in their Butter Sport. So I used almost 2 skeins of it.
Okay.
So not bad.
Works. Yep. I went out of order. So last week, last Sunday, I think it was, I cast on this hat. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I don't know if it's always free or if they were just doing a promotional thing. But it is the Spring Ahead Beanie by Cozy Up Knits.
It's very pretty.
And it has a super rapid decrease. This has not been blocked. I literally just finished this and weaved in ends, maybe 20 minutes ago. But it is out of Super Glow yarn. I think it's her sock base. I also it's part of her Mayhem collection. The yarn tag is actually sitting on my table over there. But it is gorgeous. It's really bright in person. Mm-hmm. I held it double because the pattern needed a DK weight. So I held the fingering weight double, which I like how it came out with the yarn and the speckling with the double strand. What else did I do? Oh, also, the needles that it calls for are on my sweater currently, and I didn't have an extra set, and also I was lazy and didn't want to go find an extra set. So the pattern calls for 3.5. The pattern calls for 4mm needles. I knit them on 3.5, but the pattern has 3 sizes. So I think the smaller one is for youth teen, And then women, generally, it's like a 20 to 22 inch head. And then an adult male head is the biggest size. So I did the smaller needles with the biggest size, the male size.
Okay.
So that I knew that my gauge would be smaller with the smaller needles, but I cast on more stitches, so I just worked the bigger hat. And I actually, I have other beanies and that fit perfectly, and this is the same size, so it's perfect. I don't know if I'll keep it. I don't know if it's really my style with the colors the way they are. I think it's really beautiful yarn. I'm more into like jewel tones, muted, neutrals. Though a pop of color is always nice.
It is. And like if you're going out doing like lights, looking at lights, things like that, Jack would never lose you.
Or Halloween.
Yeah.
With all the black lights, because it's reactive dye, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it will be super bright. But it's pretty, and I whipped it up in a week, so I can't really complain about it. And it's a free pattern. Written beautifully.
Perfect. That's good.
Yeah.
And now we have works in progress.
Yep.
Took me like 3 hours to figure out my next project, but hey, that's fine.
She literally just cast it on.
I did earlier today. So it's brand new.
Second row or third row?
I am into the third row now.
Okay.
So I'm into the third row. We'll see what happens. So I am working on the Summer Secret top by Jessie Maed Martinson of Jessie Maed Designs.
Yep.
Size inclusive, like you were saying earlier. Same pattern maker.
Yep.
And I am using Dream in Color Bollywood yarn. It uses US size 5, 3.75 for the ribbing. And then I change to 4.5.
Okay.
So at least they're both on the small.
Yep.
For the interchangeable, because I'm using Chiagoo interchangeable, so they're both on the small. So that'll be easy just to twist off and twist on. But crap. But
okay,
what?
But okay, so the smaller ones are 3.75, and then you're going up to 4.5.
Yes. So the last row I need to knit loosely.
So you can do that. You can also grab another cord. You don't have another cord, do you?
No, I have the one set.
Go on Amazon, order another 22-inch cord.
Okay.
You will love it because you'll have extras.
Yeah.
Because I have extras of all my cords. I love it.
Yeah.
If I could justify buying another set of needles, I would.
Right.
But I'm also telling myself that I don't need that many projects actively going.
Well, also, I'm like, could I just have like ones that are can I just order just the needles in the specific size?
Yep.
Because like these seem to be very frequently used needles, and it would be lovely to have another set of them.
I have some in 4-inch needles and 5-inch needles because I've ordered extras.
Okay.
But do it before anyone runs out of them because they are an import.
Oh.
Yeah, be careful.
Okay.
But so I would, because it's such a shift between your sizes, I would take the bigger needles on another cord
and transfer
knit them across. Yeah. Because if you were going down, like if you're like the beanie or whatever, if you're going down or the cuff of the sweater, then just slipping them on might be easy changing your needle tips might be easy because it's smaller. You don't have to worry about
switching it. Okay.
But because you're going bigger, because does it start bottom up?
Bottom up, yeah. The bottom up, so that's going to be new.
Yeah.
Never done that before. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to fit, but we're going to see. It is super stretchy. I did a new cast on method.
Okay.
Which is the old Norwegian method, which was interesting. Had to watch multiple YouTube videos again to figure it out, but
she got it after 2.
I did.
She watched it numerous times, but 2 different YouTube videos.
Yeah, I think the second one was a little bit more understandable.
Yeah.
Than the first one. But yeah, after that, then it actually worked up pretty quickly with the cast on because it's 210 stitches, and I did that, and I've done 2 and maybe like a 16th of a row. So it is slowly starting to work up. I'm working on the ribbing right now. I will probably make the shirt a little bit longer.
Okay.
Because it is a crop top. But I like things a little bit longer. But this is the yarn, and I am going to helical knit once I get to working in the round.
Yeah, once you get done with your ribbing.
Yeah, once I get done with the ribbing, I am going to helical knit because I have the 2 balls of yarn. And it, from what I'm remembering, it did say like 500 yards for the exact pattern. So it's like, okay, I have about 800. So if I go a little bit longer, I should be fine.
Yeah.
I did not do a gauge because
Gauge watch?
I don't like to.
You know, to each their own.
I'd rather just get started. Just want to go. I did gauge swatch for the California sweater. But then I did undo it to reuse the yarn, which was a terrible mistake.
Yeah, with mohair.
With mohair. Yeah, no, it was terrible. It was
please.
terrible. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. And then you picked a pattern. Rue, that yarn's not for you.
I've got my Staffy with my giant yarn ball. I'll show you in a second. And she's resting her head on it. So it's like her little headrest. I picked a pattern, so I will be casting it on today. It's another hat. I'm very excited. So the pattern is the Ponderosa hat by Wool and Pine Designs. I'm going to knit it with the same size needles and everything like that the pattern calls for. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry, but I did, I bought like 4 patterns from them because I had a bunch in my cart just waiting. Because I see things that are cute and then I put them in my cart and then I wait until I find like the perfect yarn that I want to do with that yarn or with that pattern, and then I buy the pattern.
I just bought a pattern because I was like, ooh, I like this. This is pretty.
Yep.
I want it. And now I have to find yarn to go with it because I do not have enough yarn in any of my yarns.
Right.
So.
But they did a coupon. I don't know if it was like they just gave coupons out, or if you have a certain amount in your cart from them, they give you a coupon. I don't know, but I had a 20% off coupon.
That's awesome.
So I spent $32 on patterns, but it would have been more, obviously, without the coupon.
Yeah.
But I bought this years ago. I don't know if she still has them or not, but Yarn Cafe Creations came out with these mega skeins. And they do come caked up this way already because they're huge. So I've already knit a baby sweater out of this. It's blowing out a little bit on the screen. Yeah, it's just gonna do it. So it's not as bright of a color as it's showing on the screen.
Yeah, it's more muted in person.
Yeah, it's more of like, I don't know, like a traditional green Christmas color, I feel like, but not as bright.
I was gonna say like a fern or foresty. Like,
oh, maybe.
That's what I'm getting, like fern or foresty.
But this came, and when it came in, it was bigger than the size of my head. I've made a baby sweater out of it. Did I make anything else out of it? I don't think I did. So I still have tons, and it was 500 grams. So it's basically 5 skeins of yarn in one cake.
Yeah.
Yes. And she dyes it all in the same pan. So like this was all dyed in the same pan together, obviously. And then, so you know, it's all the same dye lot. There's not going to be any huge differences or anything like that. But yeah, and I will more than likely have stuff left over because this is a lot. This is DK weight. What else? Yarn Cafe Creations.
Yep. We don't know the name of it because you bought it a while ago.
Yeah, and it did not, obviously, because it didn't come in the skein. It didn't come with, it might have came with a ball band, but I don't have it anymore. I was just like trying to see if it's in the middle.
That's what I do with all of mine is I shove them in there.
I might. So the hat that I'm going to knit has cables on it. I've never knit cables before. So I'm going to be doing the second to largest size. It's for size 20 to 22 inch head, I think. And then there's one more size after that. So if I get the hang of cables, I might actually knit another one in the bigger size and have it be a his and her couple matchy beanie.
You're such a nerd.
But wouldn't it be cute if we're wandering around Winter Haven and we're both wearing matching beanies?
It would be adorable.
Mine with like a little like pom pom on it, and his just like fitted to his head.
Yeah, that would be very cute. And you'll see if you like cables, because you bought a sweater too with cables.
Yeah. So one of the patterns I got from her is it's a cardigan, like a longer cardigan, and it has cables all over it. So
it's gorgeous.
Hopefully, I have a good first experience with cables, or I'm able to find some really helpful YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. It can't be that difficult. I'm probably making it sound more difficult in my head than it really is.
Well, that's also how I felt about knitting before I picked up knitting.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you're using 2 needles. This is dumb. Why don't you crochet? Because it's just one and you're done.
But like, and then you hated ribbing, and now you're like zooming through ribbing.
I did. Well, also this is also fingering weight, so it's not just the fingering weight, but it was on smaller needles, which might have also been why I disliked it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it also is like, that pattern for a hat that I did was like 5 inches of ribbing, or 6 inches of ribbing, because it was a lot.
Well, yeah, because it was a slouchy beanie, so you could fold up the brim.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was a lot. This is only an inch or an inch and a half.
Oh, so that'll be really fast.
So I'm actually very excited for this ribbing, because I'm like, ooh, and then I get into like I'm hopeful I could get the ribbing done this weekend.
Nice.
So that's my goal, maybe. We'll see how I do. We'll see how it goes, man. I don't know.
If that works. We have no happy mail. We've both been not buying yarn or accessories or crafty bits.
Yes. Well, I will be when I go. I'm going to California next week.
Yep.
For vacation with my family, so I will go to a yarn shop in California that I love.
Mm-hmm.
So I will likely walk out with something because I just have to.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have something from there.
You could buy yarn for that new top you got.
I know. I'm actually very excited for that top. I know, but I also thought, I was like, oh, if this is a top, do we need anything in our yarn for for display purposes? Because I could totally make that.
But you could also, because we don't carry a lot of like bamboo linen lighter stuff, you could, I bet you that yarn shop in California has some nice.
They do. They do carry, they have the largest selection of Monostyle Uruguay yarn, and their stuff is always super soft. And they do have some like cotton linen-y stuff that I might look into.
Okay.
Because I could do it in like a linen, and then I could wear it in the summer, which would be nice. It is a tank top, so it's not bad. So I'm excited for that pattern. So we will have happy mail. We usually always have happy mail.
I know, but I'm also, we are 2 months away from flock.
Yep.
So
you're saving.
I'm saving. I will be buying yarn. One skein. I'm trying not to buy stuff for myself. Next month, but that's because it's Londyn's birthday, and we gift each other yarn for birthdays and Christmas. And the like.
Yeah, we always do random yarns.
And then I'll be shopping at Flock. I'm hoping to kind of use some more skein. I'm hoping to use up the amount of skeins of yarn that I'm going to be buying
before.
So
how many skeins are you planning on buying?
At least 2 sweater quantities, so that's 8.
Okay.
But I used one right now, and then this will be, if I do 2 hats, that's like skein and a half maybe.
Or the cabling could take more yarn.
I don't think it does.
Oh, that makes me
we
kind of
could
sad.
convince ourselves that it does because it uses more yarn.
Yeah. Then technically.
But I should actually weigh this before I use it, and then I'll know kind of how much one hat takes.
Yeah.
And it'll also help me for my tracker, though I don't think this is in my tracker because it's random and it's huge.
Yeah.
But I can do some hats. I plan on making hats for a couple people for Christmas. And then obviously I'm just like in a hat. It's hot out. I don't want to have like a huge sweater on my lap.
Yeah, not
so
into
hats
doing a
and
sweater.
shawls, maybe socks. That's what you're gonna get over the summer until it cools down, and then sweaters again. Ooh, tops. We've been liking tops. Yep.
Yeah, we've been liking tops. There were a couple that you saw that I'm gonna have to go look at.
Yeah, and that one that I bought that has like the lacy on the bottom too.
That's the one I want.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to go look at that one now because it's very pretty. But yeah, we've been into a tops making mood. I would like to make socks. I would like to make a sock in general, just like one to do it. But I also don't know that I want to do it twice.
You're gonna have second sock syndrome. Well, once you get so I have somewhere. It's either a DK or it's a worsted. It might be a worsted weight sock. It's a single sock. It was the first sock I ever knit.
Okay.
And I knit on a bigger gauge because I knew that I probably wouldn't make it through. Like, I'd be going through the foot and I'd be like, oh my god, it's taking forever because it's fingering weight yarn.
Yep.
So I have that sock. It does it fit me? It might fit me. But it also has like a leg on it and I don't like socks. I have calves.
Right.
Bigger girl. Like, I have calves. So I don't like socks that have top. I like shorties.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that with my first one.
Okay.
So maybe like find a shorty. They have them, shorty, DK, or worsted weight, and knit that up.
Yeah, I have yarn set aside to do that with.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to find a pattern that I like, and which takes hours.
Yes, it does.
As you saw today. Takes hours, but I'm like, maybe I'll just knit up a slipper instead. I feel like it might take less time, and then maybe I could get through two. But I am getting faster.
You are.
So
yeah.
I am getting faster, and like now I can look at the pattern. Now that I've done 2 rows, I can be like, okay, this is a knit, this is a purl, and I don't have to sit there and say knit and purl 800 times.
Goodness.
Or as I was doing the peacock bind off, I was sitting in my couch and I was like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one. Count down 2. All right, 1, and just counting to 5 over and over again to make sure I didn't miss it.
Well, it was like with my hat, it's a 2-row repeat, and part of it is like you're knitting 6, purl 1, knit 6, purl 1. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm just like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay, purl. And sometimes I would be like, wait, did I do 6? And then I like just count it. But it's nice to get to a point in your knitting where you can actually like read your stitches and know if that's a knit or a purl just by looking at it really easily and not be confused about it.
Yeah, so that is progress because I have not really been able to do that until very recently. So that part's been great. But that's the difference. You say it in your head. I say it out loud. As I'm sitting on her couch just counting to myself like a crazy person.
It's okay. We paused the show.
We did. We paused while we were watching.
I was in the middle of crown decreases, so it was fine.
But we did finish a show. We finished a show and a season.
We did finish a show that we've been like trying to watch for like quite a while.
Yes, the hunting party. That one we finished.
We finished the hunting party, and then we finished the first season of Found.
Yes, we finished the first season.
Both of them we're watching on
Peacock.
I want to say Paramount. It's not Paramount. Peacock. Because I'm pretty sure they're both on NBC.
I believe so. We finally finished those. We've been watching Found for like months.
Yeah. Well, and Found has season 2, but there's 22 episodes in it. So that will be another
let's see how far we get.
Long haul. We can really attribute it to last Saturday. Londyn came over and we binged like 9 episodes of
the hunting
party at once. It was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night when she left. So
yeah, it was late. But yeah, no. So we've done a lot of dogs. Done a lot of watching and crafting, which has been good.
I mentioned to you earlier, the Titan documentaries. So there's one on Hulu and there's one on HBO. No. There's one on Hulu.
Netflix? Yeah, you said it was Hulu and Netflix.
Maybe it's not Hulu. There's one on, I think, HBO and one on Netflix. There's one on one of the other streaming services. If you Google it, they're both named Titan. But it was good. Like,
was one of them better than the other?
So the Netflix one was better. I think it was better. It had more people. It had the person who was like the investigator from, I think, the National Guard. was on that, and then it had some other people from the team that were on the other documentary. Okay. So I do like that they actually did pull people that were a part of the team or did dives with him on other dives. I forgot his name, but he came from a rich family, so he always had a lot of money and stuff like that. And then their main base for Ocean Gate is in Washington State.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the Netflix one actually does, Amazon just delivered a package. Does a lot of like audio from when they would take the submersible or the submarine submersible down into the water, because it was a carbon fiber hull, and carbon fiber is a bunch of strands, and when you put those under pressure, they snap, and so you hear the popping noises.
Oh, no.
It is popping noises inside it. And I know on one of his earlier dives, because he did a bunch of dives in the Bahamas with it, and they had 2 different ships because they retired one of them because they had a crack down the side.
Oh.
So then they built another one, and they started doing that for like the second half and had less dives on it. But they took other people down, and the cracking and the popping in it like unnerved a lot of people.
I would be very unnerved. I feel like, can we go back to the top now? I'm good. I'm good.
I mean, the guy who, there's a show on History Channel, I think, or Discovery Channel. It's like Discoveries Unknown or something like that. He had done an interview with them, and he actually went on it and went underwater with it and stuff like that. And you can just see like the clips that didn't air that were filmed at that point in time. And the guy is just like, kind of like, he looks scared before they go down. I mean, the submersible, the only way to get in and out of it was these end caps that were ratcheted in. So you had to wait until, I mean, I think it's ridiculous because I don't like enclosed places like that. I would not go on a sub or anything in the water. Not a fan. But you would have to wait until you got loaded on. After you like came up, for people to come on and take the end off for you, for them to open it for you to come out. So if you panic, and it's an emergency, you still have to wait for someone
to come and try and let you out.
It's just baffling to me.
That's insane.
But yeah, both really good documentaries. I would recommend them.
Yeah.
And I've been watching other things. Like I decided to rewatch Love is Blind. Season 1. I blame it on Jack's cousin because she said that she was having her boyfriend watch it. They were watching it together because he'd never watched it before. And then I was like, oh, I wonder. And so I started watching it again the other night, and I'm like, oh, all these like Gigi's on it, and Barnett is on it, and like all these people. And I was like, oh. Nice. But yeah, that's what I've been watching in my ridiculousness. And lunch breaks.
Yeah. I'm on the new season of Criminal Minds.
Of course you are.
The new one. The actual new one. Like the new one that's still being aired. But I stopped after, I watched episode 1, but then I stopped because I was like, I'd rather just watch it all at once and be done.
The first season hasn't all finished airing yet?
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
There's only 5 episodes.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm waiting on that. I watched the first episode and then I was like, there's more's gonna happen. More's is gonna happen.
Did you get your husband to go see the new Lilo and Stitch yet?
No, I'm gonna wait till it comes out on streaming and watch it just because I've read a lot about it and I'm just like, I don't know if it's... I did rewatch Lilo and Stitch the other day and I did make my husband watch it with me. But I was like, we're gonna watch Lilo and Stitch. And he was like, okay. He's like, that was a good movie. And I was like, I know.
It's a cute movie.
It's so cute and adorable. So yeah, we watched that. And then I just finished Primeval.
Okay.
And it's about dinosaurs. So it's a good one. I like it. And anomalies and how the future ends.
We watched, my husband is very picky about what he'll watch, okay? Like he has weird standards for his shows. I can watch junk TV. Yes. I can watch almost anything, barring it just being like super stupid. I don't know. Like, there's certain things I try to, like, I couldn't watch the Barbie movie. And I also think part of that was, like, I wasn't in the mood to watch the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
And it just annoyed me. So then I stopped watching it.
It was an okay movie. Do I need to watch it again ever? No, I'm good. But I get that. You have to be in a certain mood for a certain thing to watch.
But we threw on, he gave me the remote to choose something and I couldn't choose anything. So I threw on The Day After Tomorrow, which is a good movie.
It is.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Dennis Quaid, I want to say. I can't remember who plays the dad, but it's a good movie.
Did you watch Happy Face?
I did. It was
good.
So good. We get back to crime.
It was. I was like, I finished it like a couple weeks ago, and I meant to ask you if you liked it. I loved it.
It's on Peacock.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And it was so well done.
Yeah. Only one season. That has Dennis Quaid.
That does have Dennis Quaid. That's what made me think of it. And Dennis Quaid is a serial killer, in case anybody's wondering. And
yes, he is. He's in prison, so that's not spoiling anything for anyone.
No, but I think he played it very well.
Yeah.
He did a very good job. It's not a typical role that I see Dennis Quaid in, like, ever in my head.
Well, I love that. Like, you're seeing a lot of actors that traditionally don't play those types of roles into it. Mm-hmm. Like Josh Hartnett in Trap was so good.
That was good. And I was actually surprised it wasn't super gory.
It was not super
gory.
It
was more psychological thriller, which I loved. Because I love a good psychological thriller. I'm not a huge fan of, like, horror-y gore.
Yeah, you take her to a scary movie and she's like freaking out.
I don't like it.
It's not.
It's not great. It's not my cup of tea. I do it, though, because I love you as a friend.
What did we almost go to? Oh, Imaginary. So what's the other one? So
Imaginary. It was another one. Was it the one with
Ryan Reynolds and
the Imaginary Friends
come to life? Yeah, the Imaginary Friends. So like, but that came out around the same time that Imaginary came out, which is a horror movie.
Yes, and you sent me Imaginary, and you're like, it's the one with Ryan Reynolds. Let's go see it. And I was like, sure, I've seen that. And I click on the link that she sent me, and I was like,
this is not the same.
I was like, are you still want to, like, I'll go see this with you, but that's not the movie you described to me before.
Where's the Ryan Reynolds? Oh no.
Where's Ryan Reynolds? Where's anybody? But yeah, no, I'm not a huge fan of horror. Psychological thriller, I love.
Yeah. You did, what's the one with the girl who is getting married? And it, like, every marriage into the family draws a card. And that's what they have to deal with, until the next, like, morning or something like that. Yep. So it's really luck of the draw. You could have an easy card or you could have a really difficult card.
Like she did.
Yeah. That was okay. Like, it's kind of gory, but it wasn't, like, scary. It was more, like, thriller.
More thriller, like, how to survive type deal, which was good. I watched The Menu.
Okay.
And that one was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that because it's been on my list of like, oh, I want to see it, but I was like, everybody dies. But it was very interesting because everybody dies in a way that's like part of a menu, and it was weird. It was, the whole thing was just odd.
I keep getting, so I've noticed that Netflix has recently come out with a bunch of like movies or shows about like a loved one dying.
Oh.
Like there's one, I do want to watch it, but I don't think it's the best time for it. Like this girl, her mom leaves her a list or like things she needs to accomplish, but her mom just passed away. So like in her grief, she like goes about and does certain things to like move on.
Did she finish the list?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
It's a mystery. I'm assuming she finishes the list.
I would assume so, but
And then there's one with another one on Netflix where the whole family owns a business, and one of the branches of the business is like a beauty company, and the daughter thought she was going to be put in charge of that, but her mom in her will had said like she basically gets fired because she wants the daughter to like go live and not work type of a thing.
I've seen the preview for that, but like it's a stipulation of the will. She can come back after she does these things.
Yep. And so I'm like, oh, those look really good. Probably not the best time.
No, I'd wait a little bit. Or a little bit.
My mom died on July 1st of last year. So we are going to, I don't want to say avoid, but maybe like a little bit of like,
you're going into your
avoiding
Hallmark movies. Everything's going to have a good ending.
Yep.
Nobody dies.
I could reactivate Hallmark on my Amazon.
Yes.
I watched all the Good Witches. Did I tell you? Like, I finished all the seasons of it. And then I was going to do When Calls the Heart, and I was like, oh, I think I'm out of my Hallmark phase for now.
I think you're going to go back into your Hallmark phase very, very soon.
But I like When Calls the Heart because her first love interest is named Jack, and he's a Canadian Mountie. And my husband's named Jack. And then maybe someday I can get him to Halloween. I can get him to wear like a Canadian Mountie outfit. Probably not.
Just let me know where and when he's gonna be because I want to see it.
That'll probably never happen. He'd be like, you want me to wear a Canadian military outfit? No, thank you.
Oh gosh.
I couldn't even get him into. I was like, oh, we could do a couples outfit because we hand out candy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we could do a couples outfit. And what would be super easy is a Luke and Lorelai.
Yeah.
Like, he needs a backwards baseball hat, preferably blue, a flannel shirt, jeans. I need like Daisy Duke shorts, which I have, and a tie-dye top, and carry around a giant mug of coffee. And there we go.
Yeah.
But he said that no one would understand it, and he wasn't going to dress up for it. And I was just like, oh, I'll just have to wait until I have kids, and then I can dress them. Like, 1 year will be like a little Rory, and then 1 year will be like Harry Potter. Ooh, a mandrake root. That would be great for the first one, baby. Depending on when the baby's born. That would be great.
That would be adorable.
Because my husband's not going to dress up for Halloween ever.
You might once you have kids do family costumes.
Maybe, but I also don't see him. He might walk around. So his experience growing up is very different from my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the things that I find nostalgic and I love doing, like, he doesn't find, it's not that he doesn't find value in them, he's just never experienced them.
Yeah.
So maybe if I get him into actually doing something like that, he'll be more excited.
I think so. I could see him getting, I think it'd be like one of those things that he's secretly excited for.
Yeah.
Like when he finishes a project and it's like, Londyn, look what I made. Look what I did.
Also, I feel like if I give him some input on outfit ideas, like family costume ideas, he might be more invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see him get it. I could see him going like really hard into it, but very secretly and very like at first like, this is stupid, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, like my wife is making me do this.
But secretly inside.
Yeah.
Ball of sunshine.
Like really excited for how it's going to turn out and taking photos and all that. He'll probably really like that.
Yeah, that is my vision for your future with your husband. It's great Halloween costumes.
I will take it.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we are scheduled to dive for the next couple weekends, so we'll probably have some fun content on our Instagram and Facebook for quite a bit, because we'll be posting like the different colorways we're dyeing and stuff. Some of it's like obviously like we're redying some things. Mm-hmm. Other things we're working for a collection that is going to probably be coming out in the next couple of months.
Yeah, it's like August, September probably.
Yeah. Early fall.
Which will be great.
We're excited, but we want to also have like enough time to like be able to like knit up swatches and do crochet swatches, so that everyone can kind of see what the yarn looks like.
Yes.
When you work it up, because I know that makes it easier. I definitely would not have bought this yarn if I didn't see a sample knit up at Birdhouse Yarns when she did her trunk show, because the way it looks in a skein
is
very different from what it looks like when it's like knit up.
Yeah. So that is something we are working on, is getting a lot more swatches and things together of all of our yarns.
Yep.
So that way people can see kind of how they work up and what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've got lots of good things coming. But we will see you guys all next time, which is in like a month's time. July some point. July 19th, right before my birthday.
Yep.
That's when we're scheduled. It's July 19th. So.
That was so weird.
I know. My brain works funny sometimes.
But yeah. So let us know in the comments if you guys have done anything new recently. I know we asked that a couple of episodes ago. But like Londyn's casting on a bottom up top. I am going to be starting a beanie with cables. If you have any tips and tricks for working on those types of projects, we would greatly appreciate it. I know you were looking at like, because it's bottom up, you can't necessarily try it on. So if there's
it's just a hope, wish, and a prayer at this point, guys. I feel like that's how all my projects turn out. It's a hope, wish, and a prayer that this works. 9 times out of 10, they do. So,
I mean, you can always frog it. It would be heartbreaking, but
I probably would cry, and I don't know that I would pick it back up again because I'd be so devastated.
You would give it to Patrick if he found it for you.
You know, look, you have new yarn. New yarn to play with.
But if you have any tips and tricks for easy ways to do those, or things that you learned throughout the way of making those or doing those skills, please let us know.
Or any like pattern makers that you absolutely adore or love, because we're always on the lookout for new things to use with our yarn and our hordes of yarn that we stash.
Right? Like I was picking a new pattern, and I was like, to the yarn store, and it's my office. Because I have a yarn wall.
You do. It's a beautiful yarn wall. But
yeah. So we will see you in July. And hopefully it's not as hot where y'all live, but we are in the desert in the Southwest, and we are just hitting our hot season.
Yeah. So we are staying inside as much as possible with air conditioning. Goals.
We are. Yep. So we hope you guys are having fun and you pick up some fun crafts, and we will see you
next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I did get up.
Yes, you do. Watch out for the dog.
I know.